Hello, everyone. Thanks for spending your evening or night with us, depending on where you're at in the country. We have a very special guest here today, Hunter Delaney, aka Eat Sleep Thrift on Instagram, and he also has a YouTube channel. So if you guys don't subscribe to him, you should subscribe to him. His link to his YouTube channel is actually down below, and same with his Instagram. He's also a fellow Michigander, but more wishes he was in Ohio. But
It's two
yeah,
football
thanks
fields.
everyone. two football fields away, he says. But yeah, so welcome him, and I'm gonna leave the floor over to him to talk to you guys about his reselling life.
All right, so what's up, guys? My name's Hunter. I've been thrifting since I was 16. I started basically, me and my friends, we drove by a thrift store after Cedar Point, and it was a Salvation Army. And I was like, what the heck's a thrift store? We ended up going the next day. I bought like a flannel or something, and I was hooked. And then a lot of people that I know on Instagram, they don't have savers. I have 2 savers near me, and they're the only ones within like a couple hours of me. So I hit the place up, and the first time I hit the savers up, 3 pairs of Jordans, and I was like, this is awesome. So I've been kind of reselling with eBay since I was 16. I'm 21 now. I'm in college. I'm a junior in college. I'm about to graduate. I'm so ready to be done. And I've mainly been taking this really seriously for about the past year. So yeah, that's about it. And I've been, posting and documenting my finds for the past 3 years on Instagram. So, yep.
That's Hunter, everyone. Yeah. So what would you say some of your favorite things to thrift are?
Not anything with a Nike sign. I go into the thrift. The first place I go to is the shoe section. Any Nikes, any Adidas, any crazy old shoes, jerseys, anything super vintage. Because when I started thrifting, it was all about what I wanted to add to my collection. So that's basically that's the market that I love. But now I'm dabbling in other things, more higher fashion stuff, even a little women's clothing here and there. But yeah, I love to find just anything with a Nike sign.
Yeah. Do you find it kind of tough when you do find some of those fire pieces, passing them? I mean, not passing them up, but like, do you keep a lot of them, or do you like to just sell them?
So what I call it is I rent them. So I'll say, oh yeah, like this is mine, and I'll keep it for like 2 months, and I'll wear it, and I'll just go, you know what, I'm done with this. I'll sell it off. I get pretty romantic. It depends on the item. Like if I find some sweet LeBrons or something, I'm probably gonna wear them for a couple months. But usually I'm pretty good at just letting the stuff go.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys don't follow him on Instagram, his Instagram stories are hilarious. So he's one of the first guys that I've started following religiously last year when I opened up my own business Instagram account, and just hilarious. But I do have to know how you're from Michigan, and might be one of the biggest Cleveland sports fans I've ever met.
Oh, okay. But before I answer that, can they see me when you're talking or no?
No, they can't.
Oh, okay. I'm just like being a goofball. So basically, I mean, I was born in Toledo, but I grew up in Michigan. It's literally right on the border. My grandparents are huge Browns and Indians fans. And my dad bought me a LeBron jersey when I was a kid, and I was just hooked. Like I'm a huge Cleveland Cavs fan, and I roll with the Browns and the Tribe as well. But the Cavs are my favorite. Huge Buckeyes fan, and that's basically how it is. My grandparents basically just said, this is your team, and I mean, I gotta stick with the Browns. I'm not bandwagoning.
Yeah, I feel there. I'm a kind of a Lions fan. I'm actually not much of an NFL fan. Sort of
Lions
NBA.
aren't too bad though.
Yeah, I'm sort of NBA fan. I don't really like the Pistons to be honest, but I do like the Golden State Warriors. And before you call me a bandwagon fan, I do have that Draymond Green tie. So
You what?
said I have that Draymond Green Michigan State tie. So I
Oh
can
yeah,
be I
that's
can be a fan of it.
understandable. I will tell you, if the Cavs would have drafted Draymond Green, he would be my favorite player. But since he's not on the Cavs, he's my least favorite player. I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, it's gotten kind of ridiculous. It's funny though because he'll come back to Michigan State quite a bit. And actually, one of my good friends who was on the track team roomed with him, so he has his phone number, and I'm like, dude, give me his phone number. I'll blow his phone up every time I go out every weekend.
My buddy, he got into a Twitter fight with Draymond Green's mom. pretty legendary.
That's hilarious.
He said you're
so.
What?
So what'd you do when LeBron moved to Miami for that little bit? Did you burn your LeBron jerseys?
Well, I have a fat head in my room, and I ripped off one of its legs of LeBron. I ripped off one of his legs, and then my aunt a Dirk Nowitzki jersey, so I rooted against LeBron in the finals that year, and they lost. And then I had to see LeBron. You know, he was really sad because they should have won that finals, and you know, I was just kind of like, yeah, I kind of want him to win one. And then I found out he came back when I was on a golf course, and I ran back one of the holes because I met some guys who were Cleveland fans. And I just told them, guys, LeBron's coming back to Cleveland. And they just go, oh, we're just Browns fans. Like, just killed my mood. I was like, what the heck's wrong with you guys? This is unbelievable news. I was so hyped.
No, that's cool. So back to a little bit of reselling stuff. What I guess you said you sell a little bit of women's stuff. What women's stuff do you pick up?
I have some Lululemon yoga pants sitting. I guess I'm gonna dabble with that. If I find a cool like women's, I sell women's Nikes. You DM'd me the other day. You said you could probably get 70, 80 bucks for those when I was trying to sell them on Instagram. But I've sold a couple of those. Nothing major. Like I'll go to the women's section and I'll find men's clothes. But you know, I don't know much about women's clothing because it's not something I'm passionate about. But hey, there's money there. So, you know, I'm going to try to learn the market for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with that. Especially if you're part-time or full-time. If you're full-time, especially though, you have to be passionate about what you're selling because at some point if you're not, you're either gonna leave the business entirely or you're just gonna have these piles upon piles of clothes that you're not listing.
Absolutely.
How many items a week do you usually get up?
So right now, I post stuff as I get it. I'm kind of picky. Like I like my margins a little thicker. I know you flip stuff for like 25 bucks. But I mean, it really depends. I'd have to pay really low for it, but I shop at Savers, so they pay for their donations. So they're priced a little higher. So, I usually like a pair of shoes, I'm paying 10, 15, even 20 bucks for sometimes. Some shirts, you know, I'm paying $5 for it. I'm sure you get them for like $1. But, I have about 40 items in my eBay store, and I have about like 30 items on Etsy. Nothing huge, but I'm really trying to get my numbers up and source more. But I'm also hoarding as well. I got a lot of my best stuff in a tote in my basement because I am thinking about doing a pop-up shop this summer. So basically what I got right now.
Dang, that's pretty sweet. So I've never actually been to a flea market.
What?
Planning. Yeah, man. I plan on going to some this summer.
For sure.
But yeah, we'll have to meet up and hit a few of them.
Oh yeah,
maybe I could.
5 minutes away, man. I'm gonna have to go into Michigan territory though.
Yeah, no kidding. It's brutal here being a Michigan State fan too. I'm only about a mile from the stadium, so got to see the big old Black M every single day. Unfortunately,
I went to Michigan basketball camp in 8th grade, and I wore all Ohio State gear. I met the team and everything, all Ohio State gear. Didn't care. It was a good camp.
Yeah,
Coach Beeline, he's a beast.
you're that guy who shows up to Michigan, like a Michigan
guy,
State, Wisconsin game in all Michigan gear.
Yep.
That's hilarious. All right. So let's open it up to a little bit of fan questions. Picking Vintage, the guy from last week. I'm assuming you guys know each other a little bit.
Shirts off him. He sold me.
Okay. So I don't.
Some sweet Nike shirts.
Cool so guy. Guys, people in the live chat, if you guys don't follow Hunter on Instagram, this might go a little bit over your head, but Picking Vintage wants to know, literally your favorite word?
Literally, I've calmed it down a little bit. I think goodness is my favorite word. Like when I go, my goodness. I mean, those got to be my two favorite words probably. Yeah. I mean, literally, I put it in the mix. It's definitely, it used to be one of my favorites. I've calmed it down a little bit. Maybe I'll bring it back. I got a lot of DMs from that.
Oh, so this leads to my follow-up question then from Saved. His name's Saved on Instagram. He said you guys are homies. He wants to know when you will start your own merch that says, my goodness.
Yeah, that's my buddy Evan. He's a cool guy. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't see myself as like, I don't think my merch would sell. I don't know. I mean, a decent amount of people watch my stories, and I get some cool DMs of people going, "Hey, man, you crack me up every day." Those are like honestly my favorite DMs to get. But I mean, I might come out with a merch line. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I don't know how the sales would be, but I'd end up probably wearing all the stuff.
So someone in the chat, Thrifty Bish wants to know if is that big old Ohio State helmet that
yes.
Yes,
it is. This thing is beautiful. I love it. It's got a footrest up here, and I got the other one over there. I still got to put these fat stickers on them, but these things are beautiful. I love them.
Just an ugly scarlet and gray though.
No, they're beautiful. They had some Iowa. Oh, they had a Michigan State one. It was actually on clearance too.
Yeah, after this sports season, I don't.
That's okay. We didn't score in the playoffs, so we got 0-30 by Clemson.
Lost to Alabama 37-0. So I feel your pain.
I watched that game, man. I felt bad for me. But you guys beat Michigan, because the punter can't punt the ball. It's terrible. Literally, that was literally terrible.
I literally have watched some of the best Michigan State football games by myself in my apartment when I was in East Lansing. So the Hail Mary against Wisconsin, the blocked field goal from the Notre Dame game, and then that blocked punt.
And you were at the college at the time, right?
So yeah, I was in college for all those games actually. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
So I was in my undergrad for the Wisconsin Notre Dame game. And then I was in grad school, or I was still in grad school at that time before I dropped out for that Michigan game. But I was at the Baylor game when we came back by 20.
Oh my gosh, that was insane. You guys you guys destroyed that punter. That guy got laid out, dude.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was very fun to watch. If you guys haven't seen that. Anyone in the live chat, YouTube that after this and look up Michigan State player Rex Baylor punter. Legitimately, he hits the turf, pops up on his ass, and just looks like he's dead.
Oh man, it was a monster hit.
Yeah, we keep getting sidetracked, which is perfectly fine. This is fun.
All good, man.
What other? I know you talked about eBay and Etsy. Are you on any other platforms?
I've been looking at Grailed because I just met up with a guy. His Instagram name is Thrifty. His name's Justin. He sells on Grailed, and I thought Grailed was for like higher end stuff. I didn't even know anything about it. T-shirts on it really well, like older T-shirts. So, I might check out Grailed. I haven't tried Poshmark, but mainly eBay. Some stuff sells through Instagram. And I wanted to do Etsy because I wanted to give, you get DMs. Hey, man, how much for this? What size? Can you send me pictures? You get DMs for that all day. And they can go on your Etsy, and purchase it there if they want it. Hey, man, it's in my Etsy store. Click the link in my bio.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you should actually check out Grailed because honestly, I don't post. The only stuff I really post on there are my like vintage stuff, and it goes like crazy. So I'll cross post from eBay to Etsy and Grailed, and then if it's a little bit of higher end stuff like some Gucci shoes or some suits, I'll still post that on Grailed too. But yeah, I mean, just following you on Instagram, knowing the stuff that you buy, like yes, that do very well on Grailed, and you can actually command higher prices. Because I don't know if you know how it works, but so every 8 days, so you post an item, and then 8 days later, if it hasn't sold, you can bump it to the top of the search results again. And so you do that every 8 days, and if it hasn't sold after 30 days, then to bump it to the top, you have to take 10% off the price. So knowing that I price higher, and if someone buys it before I have to drop it off that 10%, I'm getting more money on there than I am on eBay, and the fees are lower. The fees are 10% flat rate, or not? Yeah, it's like 9 or 10% flat rate. Everything's paid through PayPal. PayPal doesn't then hit you with extra fees. It's a flat 10% across the board.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So my only pet peeve on it though is so there's a lot of flakes on it. So they'll offer you, you'll accept, and then they'll just never pay, which is fine though because people can still offer the item's still available for sale even if they don't pay you, and you accept that offer. Like it's fine. So someone could swoop right in and take it once they pay.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, flaking's a part of life. I mean, I just expect it now. And I don't get really too mad about it. I mean, I kind of just expect it for the most part. But yeah.
Yeah, it seems like flake. I mean, I feel like the flakes are more on the like the streetwear pieces and stuff. Like, I mean, your normal like mall brand stuff. People know what they want and they're ready to buy it. It's probably a different clientele too.
Yeah.
So. All right, another question from the fans. Oh Hey Bianca on Instagram asks, what is your favorite find from the thrift? And also, what is your biggest sold item you've ever had?
Okay, well, I mean, I guess they could go hand in hand because, okay, so I would have to say my favorite item, homecoming when I was a senior, we ate at a restaurant and we had like an hour to spare. We screwed up. We had an hour to spare. And I was like, you know what, guys, let's pile in the car. Let's go to Savers. They were down. We were all in our tuxedos looking fly. And we walk into Savers, and my buddy, he goes to the shoe section. He finds these blue, Pro Blue foam posits. And it was back, it was like 2012 or something, like 2013. He finds them. They're $15. And he was like, oh, man, there's not my size. And he gave them to me. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. And I took them home. And I ended up selling those for $350 in high school. And that was the biggest sale I've ever had. I was like, holy crap, like this thrifting thing is insane. So that was probably my favorite because it really got me going. I was like, wow, this is real money. $350 to a high school kid. I mean, that was my summer. I could make that last the entire summer. And my favorite money find, I found some Kobe samples. I wasn't even gonna buy them. I bought them. I came home. A guy offered me $70, and I almost took it. I was really close, and I was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna hold off. I want to get some more information about them because I really didn't know much about them. And then Oregon's point guard hit me up. The point guard for Oregon University hit me up. He goes, hey, man, I will give you $400 for them. And I was like, I appreciate that offer. I'm going to hold off for now, but I appreciate it. I'll get back to you. I was being greedy. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick these suckers on eBay for $1,000. Like 7 days goes by. This dude hits me up, and he lives in China, and he goes, you know what, man? I'll take them. How much is it to ship to China? And I was like, it'd be like an extra $50. I hate shipping overseas. Well, I used to. But he was like, okay. And we went out of eBay and used PayPal. Don't do that. You'll get in trouble. But that's what I did. We created an invoice to avoid the eBay fees. Yes,
Hey,
we're terrible.
save me 10%. I'm not gonna say that it's the worst. I've never done it.
I know, but I mean, people are getting in trouble for it. I've seen people get in trouble for it. So I did that. I paid. It took a week to get there. He got the shoes. He sent me a page-long email. So I paid $15 for the Kobe's. Sold them for $1,050. So that was absolutely ludicrous. I gave it to my mom. Paid a tuition payment. I was pretty hyped.
That's crazy. Yeah, my biggest sale to date's only been like 700, and that was on
only 700.
Yeah, only, dude. It was on Etsy too, which is even better because there was only a 4% fee for that. So I ended up making like 634 or something. I mean, I didn't keep track. You know, I only know the exact number, but
that is insane, man.
Yeah, it was actually on a sample piece too. It was already delivered, thank goodness. So I sent it. So it went to a guy to the UK, and I declared the value as $700 too, because I was like, I'm not going to take any chances with this. Yeah. So it was sitting at customs for like almost a week. I messaged him twice and was like, dude, you need to pick up your piece. It's sitting at customs. And I was worried that it was going to sit so long that they were going to send it back to me. But I checked tracking late last week, and it says delivered. So he hasn't messaged me saying there was any problems with it.
Well, I mean, you got the tracking number, so I mean, you're safe overall, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, good to go now. Like I shipped it priority mail international, just so that I could have tracking all the way.
Absolutely, nice, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was doing a little dancing in my house, like going crazy. Because the funny thing is, I had it cross-posted on like 4 different websites, and a week or two before it sold, like someone gave me an offer of $150 on eBay, and I only paid $3 for it. So I was like, whatever, I'll take it, because it'd been sitting since December. So I took it, and the guy never paid. Wow. So I was like, all right, that sucks. And then this guy on Etsy messaged me, and he goes, dude, would you do a trade for a North Face Supreme Steep Tech jacket? And I was like, sure, but you're gonna have to send it first. You're also gonna have to send me receipts and pictures of everything, because all that stuff's faked pretty easily. Yeah. And he goes, well, I got it through a different person, and they no longer had the receipt. And I was just like, sorry, dude, like I can't do it without a receipt. Yeah. Yeah, and then 2 days later, he bought it for full price. So
that is awesome, man. You paid $3?
$3 at Salvation Army. It was a Chanel. God. It was a Chanel sample sweater from the 90s.
Oh my gosh! Was it new with tags?
No, so it didn't even have a, so with sample pieces, they I think especially in the fashion industry, they don't even put sizes on any of it, because it's not meant to actually hit the normal world. And so I kind of had to guess on the size just based off measurements, because all it said on the tag was sample, and on the back of the tag it said not for resale. So what I did, resold it.
That is insane, man.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is from $50 for a t-shirt. Great handle on Instagram, actually.
Yeah, that's big.
Saw Macklemore live in my undergrad at Michigan State. I think it was actually my second concert ever. My first was Kid Cudi, speaking of those Ohio ties.
Yeah, he went to Toledo for a semester.
Probably was tripping balls the entire time on shrooms.
Yeah. Dude, my phone's at 20%. I hope it doesn't die.
Yeah, it just just switched to a blue person. Do you want to plug it in possibly? Can you plug it in?
Yeah. Let me go grab my charger. I'll be right back.
All right. So guys, everyone in the live chat, if you guys have any questions, just put the question mark in front of it. After we get through these fan questions, then we will open up the questions on the live chat.
I got
Husky asked, how do you tell if it's a sample? Is it not having a size? It literally said sample on the tag, not for resale. That's the only reason I knew it was a sample.
Wow.
Joe State is the man.
Right.
Oh yeah, that I did actually have. So Thrifty Bish brought it up, and I meant to bring it up earlier. So what? Last week, 2 weeks ago, you decided to buy every single iPhone case ever made.
Yeah.
How are the sales on that? Have you sold any?
Dude, I think I screwed up. I don't think I should have bought them. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you. The sound's a little muffled though. I don't know if it's under anything.
Shoot. Here, let me move it over. Is it still muffled?
No, that's good now.
It's good? Gosh.
Yep, you're good.
I thought the battery would last. All right, does it look okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, live video on iPhone. I'm assuming you have an iPhone.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, all right. So yeah, tell us a little bit about those iPhone cases.
So Savers, they were selling these iPhone cases. I saw a tub out on the floor, and I was like, I'd be interested in buying them all. See if I could buy them in bulk because they had like $1 on each one. And the guy got the manager, and I went in the back, and the next day he told me to come back the next day, and he sold me about 8,000 of them for $150, and they're all brand new, but they're like iPhone 5 era, so they're kind of old, and I think I kind of just made a rash decision to buy them all because it was just so much. I was just like, well, heck, like if I can get 50 cents a piece, I'm killing it. I'll be able to pay off college. So I kind of made a rash decision. They're sitting over there in a pile. I put them up. I put them up like even on like a couple Facebook things. I just wanted to get rid of the entire lot, make a couple $100 to someone who really wants to mess with them. But yeah, they haven't moved. They haven't got much interest. And I basically don't know what to do at this point.
Yeah, I can't help you with that. Especially, man, you bought them even though they're iPhone 5 cases.
Well, they have some they have Galaxy, the Notes, they have iPad cases, and they're nice cases, and they're all brand new. But I think I screwed up. So you lose sometimes. I lost $150. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but they're literally sitting here in the basement. That doesn't happen often, but this was a big fat L for me. I caught the L.
Yeah, my go-to sayings is you win some, you lose most, and especially in this business, it's like honestly, if you could get that much product for that cheap. It's more risk reward kind of thing. So I probably in your case I probably would have done the same thing. Maybe not bought all of them, but I would have bought a few hundred.
Yeah, well, I screwed up, man. But I learned from it, and now I have 8,000 iPhone cases to throw away.
Well, if anyone in the live chat has an iPhone 5 case, I bet Hunter can hook you up for real cheap.
If you need an iPhone 5 case, pay for shipping. I'll send you like 80 of them.
There you go, 80. Just pay for shipping, guys.
iPhone 5.
That's hilarious. All right, final $50 for a T-shirt. Let's get to his question real quick.
Right.
He says he noticed that you shop at Plato's Closet a lot. He goes, what exactly do you look for when you're shopping there? Are you looking mainly only for shoes or clothes or both?
Shoes, jerseys, coats. Sometimes you find steals on coats, but mainly shoes. I mean, I love shoes. I love the shoe market. I love the shoe culture. And that's what I look for. But Plato's is kind of caught on. They like to look up the style codes of the shoes, and then they take the highest price and cut it in half and usually charge like $150 for a beat up shoe that's really only worth like $70 now. And they're getting pretty bad. So you kind of got to get lucky now. But yeah, I mean, I used to find, I don't know if the viewers like know shoes too well. But like Bread Ones, I got a pair of metallic 5s, $40, cool gray 11s, like $50, or I paid $90 for those, but those were like brand new. Concords, like I found a ton of stuff. My dad goes and he finds stuff and he hits me up. But now it's kind of like they price stuff so high, it kind of stinks sometimes. But I've still gotten a couple things. I bought a pair of Jordan 11 lows. It was a couple weeks ago, and my cousin ended up buying them off me. So, but they only had them priced at 60. They were worth about 120, 140, and I sold them to my cousin, for a pretty fair price. So yeah, but the market kind of sucks now because they look everything up.
Yeah, I hear you there. That actually leads perfectly into the last fan question that we got. Dylan's Fashion Collection asks, how'd you get your knowledge on all these Nike shoes, or like really any shoes in general?
So I basically, I've loved shoes since I was like 14. And I would go on eBay. I had like $100 in my PayPal, and I would look at the market every day. I still do. I look at eBay, I'll type in Nike shoes and I'll see like each shoe, bunch of random shoes, and I'll learn it that way. Instagram's helped a lot. You just progressively learn. I mean, I still don't know as much as, I want to know. Supreme or Bait, but basically I think it's because I love the stuff and I'm eager to learn about it. It's very easy for me to pick up because I love it.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Like, it's like, honestly, when I first started thrifting, so I've been thrifting since I was 17, so about 9 years now. I didn't know anything about Tommy Hilfiger stuff, and I know I say it wrong, but I don't really care. So my dad,
Josh, it's Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger.
Tommy Hills Flies. My dad actually loves Tommy stuff, and legitimately the last time I saw him, he had this long sleeve dope ass Tommy Hilfiger spell out. Of course he did the dad thing and had his had on jean shorts, Tommy Hilfiger with the big old patch on the back, with his polo tucked into it, with his Tommy Hilfiger belt. And I go, Dad, let me buy your entire Tommy wardrobe off of you. I'll buy you a new wardrobe, but I get to keep all the extra profit from what I made.
Did he go for it?
No, not at all. Like, it's funny though, because he did give me some pieces way back in the day that didn't fit him anymore, and I packed them away not thinking, and I went back to my grandma's to grab a bunch of stuff that was of mine, and found a bunch of dope ass spell out like fleeces and stuff. So I was like, oh, tight. Went home and put them up for like $50-$60. Sold them pretty quickly. So
that's awesome.
But it's crazy because I used to I'd see it all the time and I'd just pass it up because I was like, there's no market for it. And that may have actually been the case when I was hitting them. I feel like Tommy made a big comeback in the past, 3 or 4 years, it seems like. And so there may not have been that big of a market back in like 2009, 2010.
Yeah, it kind of comes and goes, like with everything.
Yeah, honestly. So AJ wants to know about that hat you're wearing. Did you thrift it? It's the Heather hat?
No. Okay, so these Heathers, I don't know if they're called Heather or Heathers. I call them Heathers. I don't pronounce.
Yeah, I call him Heather too, but when I had Picking Vintage on last week, he was calling them Heathers, and he knows about those caps more than I do. So
yeah, he's probably right. He's really smart. He's probably right. He knows his stuff. So I
But
have a
but
brown
that pattern though is called heathered. So I don't
It's
whatever,
by the
however
way,
you pronounce it.
these hats are absolutely
But
beautiful. I got this one on eBay. I paid $75 for this hat. So go ahead and throw up. $75 for a hat. My buddy picked this one out of the bins for $1. I was at work and I flipped. I went to the bathroom, called him 4 times. He didn't pick up. I called his roommate. I said, don't let Jim sell that hat or I'm going to kill him. He sold me this hat. I paid $50 for this hat and I gave him another hat, which is a deal. I would have paid $100 for it. Hey, Jim, if you're watching this. And then I got this one off a guy on Instagram. I paid $115 for this hat. I've never seen another one. I love these hats. I know that's ridiculous. 115 bucks for a hat is absolutely ridiculous, but I had to pay it. I had to. I love the hats, and you know they're my little thing. So yeah. If you have
dude, I
an
might
Indians
buy.
one, if you have an Indians one, I have $150 waiting for you. I've never seen one though, so.
Dude, I can't wait to buy a hat machine and start making my own heathered hats downstairs in my basement. I'll start printing off those Cleveland Indian ones and sell them to you all day.
There you go, man. There you go, man. If they look the same, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. So are those? You're a hat guy. Yeah, I'm a hat guy too. But I don't. I could probably never pay any more than $30 for a hat.
Absolutely. I hear you, man. I mean, you know, I got a couple hats I've paid a lot for. I paid I paid 90 for this and 2 other hats, and I sold the 2 other ones for 30 a piece. But this hat's extremely rare. This is a Cleveland Lumberjack Splash. Anything Cleveland I love, anything Ohio I love. I do like the Red Wings though. So yeah.
Yeah, I was actually I went to the last game at the Joe. Sunday. Yeah, it was on Sunday. Pretty crazy. It sucks that we lost, or we were not going to the playoffs. We did win the game. I actually took all the stuff that they gave us. They gave us like a mini stick, this certificate, and a couple other things. And then I also had like an Iserman jersey. So I put a package together and threw it up on eBay for $800. See if I get any bites.
Wow, that's insane, man. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be collectible.
Yeah, I mean, I just threw it up at a crazy high amount just because I'd rather keep it for just a nice keepsake or get it framed or something. But if someone wants to give me $800 for it, I'll gladly sell it to them for $800.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let me go through the live chat right now and see if we can if I can pull any questions. If you guys have any questions, throw them in right now. I know I missed a few. Any questions that you guys have for him about reselling? It could be anything. Maybe what he likes to find. Oh, here we go from Craig. He asked, what are our college degrees in? Mine was, I double majored in education and social studies. What about you, Hunter?
Mine is business management with a minor in entrepreneurship. Basically the most broad degree you can get. But I think I'm planning on opening up my own store. So
that's awesome. Can you talk a little more about that then? Like what you want to do exactly?
Okay, so I want to do a pop-up this summer. I'm sure you've heard people talk about round 2. I mean, really inspiring to me. I've been doing this for years. I love it. You know, I do it. I've done it. I haven't taken a week off. You know, I go on vacation. I go thrifting. I'm sure a lot of people do. Thrifting's so fun. So, you know, just that round 2 wave. You know, I've seen other people run their own stores, and you know, it's not really about like how much money. I'm not in it for the money. I love this stuff. I love, you know, selling it and getting it to people who appreciate it. And that's something I really want to do. So right now I sold a lot of my personal pairs of shoes. I have a loan for school. I went away my first year and then I realized I was taking in debt and I realized it wasn't worth it. So I came back home and now I go to University of Toledo. So I'm trying to pay off that loan and save capital to open my own store.
That's awesome. Hey, I mean, dude, if you need a partner, that's actually one of my dreams too.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it'd be so fun to actually like. I do like the round two kind of thing, just because you can kind of control what comes in your store, what goes out of it. But I also do like just getting stuff for free. So, like, what I would actually want to do is like have like a kind of an upper scale thrift store slash like coffee shop, kind of like a two-story kind of thing going on.
Dope, man.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. But yeah, definitely, the round two stuff would be fun to do, honestly.
I mean, they live the dream. They live the dream. Well, you know, Sean and Chris do, the other employees. I mean, that would be a fun job to have. But I mean, they love the stuff. You can tell they love it. I mean, Sean's got his own shoe now. I don't know if you follow Sean Witherspoon. The dude's got his own Nike shoe. He started off, you know, thrifting, you know, like all of us. And I mean, it's just it's really inspiring, and just to know that like they did it. And round two, I don't know if you've ever been to Virginia. It's a, no offense to round two if you're from there, but like RVA's like it's pretty beat up, and you know the markets like in other cities, you know, I feel like it's very doable. You know, where there's not one already there. So just thanks round two, freaking awesome.
Yeah, AJ saying in the chat right now, AJ's picking vintage actually. Says people have already tried a place called Wavy Kicks, opened up in Richmond and closed within a year. Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't work out that well for if you're like, yeah, if you're out in LA where one of the round twos are, and then obviously if you're in Richmond, it probably wouldn't work if you're close to those places, but I feel like it could work in other parts of the country, especially I think it might work very well in college towns. You hit those because you see a lot of the young guns wearing all this vintage streetwear and stuff. And honestly, if you're in a college town, they have a little bit of that loan money, that government money going around, so they're not afraid to spend on a few items.
Oh yeah, college kids are they're wild with their money, most of them. So, but yeah, I mean, like Wavy Kicks closing, you know, I've been to that store. But to do this, like if I don't try to open it, you know, because I got my whole life to live. If I don't, I can get a job whenever. If I don't, if I know if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it. So, you know, I'm just gonna do it within the next 2 years, hopefully.
So a few people are asking what round two is. So round two is like a buy and sell store. So you come in with essentially anything that you think is worth money. Round two is more of the streetwear, Supreme, Bape, a lot of vintage stuff. They also get the most exclusive shoes. And then, yeah, they offer you either cash or store credit, and you guys make a deal there, and then they sell it again to the next person who walks through the store. But they do, I'm pretty sure they keep it like the hours like kind of weird or like pretty short, right?
Yeah, I think they open at like 10 or 11, and what they do is they post pictures of their stuff the night before. So then you got to go to the door, and they, you know, they're getting people to, you know, get to the door and put their foot in the door and look at what else they got. So what they've done marketing wise is, you know, extremely smart. And they've also what they do differently, I think, is they do an episode, you know, they do a show, and they give personalities to their employees. So people look forward to going there just to meet the people. And I just think that's just so awesome. Like people love to just go there to, you know, be in the store and meet the guys. And I think that's stuff that other businesses, you know, it's tough for them to do.
Yeah. So Bonnie says, so like Plato's Closet, yes, sort of like Plato's Closet, but on a very different brand level. So it's more of your streetwear. So if you mentioned Tommy Hilfiger, all the hype brands like Supreme and Bape, and then all the top shoes. So you're talking about any rare Jordans, any of the Adidas NMD collaborations. Really, it's like Plato's Closet, but they have a lot cooler shit. A lot of it's vintage stuff, very rare, hard to find stuff, and the clientele is a lot different than anyone that's walking into Plato's Closet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be a fun time, honestly. Just some of the stuff that walks through that store. And yeah, I just actually, it's funny that you bring up Witherspoon's shoe, because I just watched the YouTube video of them creating it for Air Max Day.
Yeah.
So he actually won then?
Yeah, like his design won. He got the most votes, and you know he's really humble. Like he didn't tell anyone like go vote for me. He said like if you like the shoe, like go vote for it. Like he did it the right way, and he won. And I mean that's absolutely insane. Like years ago, he like if you watch, he did an interview with No Jumper. He was talking about he started with $500 a couple years ago to open this store, and I mean look at what he's done for himself. And I just think I think it's absolutely inspiring, and it's amazing. And I'm not trying to copycat them. I just want to be my own version of me and do something similar to that.
Yeah, you're just gonna have just all Cleveland sports exclusive gear. That I imagine you just have your own section of Cleveland sports, and no one can actually buy it. It's just to look at.
Yeah, it's all on display. It's just a museum, and you pay and come look at it.
That's hilarious. All right, let me see if I can pull a few more questions. We got about 10 minutes left in here. Nicole, I think Joe was in here earlier. Bethany, yes, we answered what round 2 was. Okay, so Vintage Mercantile wants to ask, how many times have you been to the Horseshoe?
The Horseshoe? I went to the Michigan State or the Western Michigan game. I've never been to a big game. Well, I went to Michigan Ohio State like in 06 or 07, whatever year they played at home when I was a kid. But the tickets for the games are expensive. And last time I went, I sat right behind a beam. So I'm never letting my friend Josh buy tickets to the Ohio State game. Josh, if you're watching this, you're not buying tickets anymore. That was ridiculous, dude. We sat behind a beam, man.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know what the Horseshoe is, it's Ohio State's football stadium.
Go Bucks.
I think I heard go green, I believe.
I don't recall. You need to change your volume.
Yeah, I need to clean out my ears.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you guys have any other questions, get them in now. If not, we can wrap it up. So what are some of your future goals beyond maybe, let's say, what's your future goals in the next 5 years or something?
In the next 5 years, first thing I want to do is I want to be debt free. So I want to pay off this loan. I just want to be running my store, just doing my own thing and just progressively learning.
What town would you open it up in?
I love Cleveland. And there's nothing really like it in Cleveland. But that's a big city. I love Columbus more. I would rather live in Columbus. But we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna do a pop-up in Cleveland or Columbus, but I might even try both. But yeah, I mean either Columbus or Cleveland. I don't want to leave Ohio. I love Ohio. I'm here to stay.
No LeBron James. No leaving and coming back.
LeBron,
I
yeah.
do love Columbus a lot too, honestly. I hate to admit it, but so I was there. So when I graduated.
Wait, Josh, what was that?
Yeah. Columbus actually would be a good town to have a store like that in, because they have the Short North, which is the hipster area there, where you could probably sell them some grungy ass Levi's for about $1.50. But no, yeah, Columbus is a fun area. And and I don't even want to admit this, but the best hockey game I was ever at was the playoff game. So I was in town for work, actually. We went to the Pittsburgh Columbus Blue Jackets game, and they were down 4-0 with 8 minutes to go. They scored 3 goals in like 4.5 minutes, and it was 4-3, and then almost tied it up. And we were so hyped for that. Actually, my good friend who was on the cross country team with me at Michigan State, his cousin is Zach Orensky, who's the defenseman.
Wow.
For Columbus. Yeah, he should have won the Rookie of the Year this year, but he was competing against some really, really other good rookies too.
Yeah, that's sick. Go Jackets.
Go Wings. They are one of the best teams in the league this year.
Yeah,
but
I mean they're in Ohio, so.
Oh goodness! All right, man. Well. Doesn't look like there's any more questions, so I want to wrap it up. Thanks, everyone, for spending your night with us. Really do appreciate you guys coming out and showing your support to not only me, but Hunter also. Again, if you guys haven't hit the like button, hit that like button if you really enjoyed it and if you learned some stuff today. I know I did. Also, give him a follow on Instagram and then hit the subscribe button on his YouTube. He makes YouTube videos. So all that's down below. And then if you guys don't follow me yet, hit that subscribe button and also hit me on Instagram. But everyone have a good night. Happy reselling, and hope you make a bunch of money.
Yeah, thanks.